All right, what is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another Black Desert video. So today I felt like lighting silver on fire, and I'm going to be enhancing a Blackstar. I also do need some fail stacks, and yeah, so in case you guys haven't done this in a while, or you're a new player wondering what you do, the real answer is just buy it. But in case you want to enhance one for yourself, I'll try to make this an educational video and tell you what stacks I use and generally how everything goes. So we're going to start enhancing it from base, and the goal is to get it to tet, and then we'll see how I feel from there, and then depending on our materials, we might do a pen tap or not, but you never know. Anyway, with that said, let's get started. So as we all know, the Olvia Academy is coming out next week. We're going to get 2 more free Black Stars, and basically you can get your 2 sovereigns, or you should have 4 Black Stars or 2 sovereigns equivalent, and then you just need 2 more to finish it. So with that said, let's go enhancing. I don't need it, I just need silver, but let's see if we can make it in under a tet, in under, what is it, like 11 bill. Okay, so if you have never enhanced a Black Star, or you don't know what to do, here's how I look at it in terms of the math. So we never force it, but if we were to force it, basically we look at this. So each force would be 20 durability, right? Or 2 black stones. And so the goal is to get it in under 2 clicks. Otherwise forcing it would have been better. And so by default, we want to use a stack that would be at least more than 1 and 2. So a 3 stack should be fine. I know most people just use the lowest stack to guarantee it, because in my opinion, these stacks like 10, 20, 30, 40, well actually like the 10s and 20s are a little bit less relevant these days, simply because there's nothing to do with it. So I would say like a 75 is realistically good. So I have failed that before. It's always scary, especially when you're doing it on video. All right, so the Adventurer's Choice, what does that mean? That is the stack that most people who click their Black Star or like the item at the same enhancement rate would use. So realistically, I would say, like, for example, a 10 stack gives 20% on top of that, so that would be a 46%. But if we were to force it, it would be essentially a 1 and 3, right? So what we want to do is get it in under 3 clicks, essentially, to make it better than the force percentage. So a 40% or 46% with a 10 stack, or a 66%. I think a 20 is realistically pretty good. Always when I'm recording. Holy dude, that's crazy. Okay, so 3, essentially, this was a little bit worse, but it happens. And then, let's see, people use 20 again. I think that's about a 40%. Yeah, I would say that's fine, 47. And then we want to get it in under, I would say, 4 or 5 clicks and under that one. Okay, we're doing good. Now, 10 starts at 30. I think I agree with that one. So a 43%. Under 5 clicks. I value the memfrags a little bit more than the blackstones. Or, I mean, they're both kind of expensive. You have to do the math on it. But I would say, 43 is pretty good. Okay, next. Another 30. Yeah, I guess that's fine. So that's like a 1 and 4 with the 30 stack versus like 6 to 11 attempts to a force. Good. 12 to 15, well, I think it's not 12, like 13 to 15 is where numbers kind of go out the window, but we'll still see it. So like this is a 7 click. Or if we calculate the Blackstones, it's probably around like a 10, 11 cost average. And so we want it to be over a 10%. And so what that means is probably, 40 stack is a 20, right? A 21%. Pretty good. All right. Math goes out the window with 13 to 15. You could also look at it in terms of how much does it cost. A 13 to 14, if you could buy it at that price, is about 210 million silver. So 8 clicks with 30. That 30 is actually a lot with the current cost of sharps these days. So we want to probably use a 50. Game recommends a 50. Before I even clicked it, I'm like, yeah, that's probably what I would do as well. So 15%, 1 in 6, 1 in 7, essentially. That didn't feel good. RNG at its finest. I also had a lot of artisans that I just needed to use on something, so I'm like, oh, might as well. All right. That was attempt number 8. I would say average-ish. Game recommends another 50 starter, and then up to 60. I would say start it probably... I have a bunch of 60s. If you are doing this for your first time and you don't have a bunch of extra fail stacks, start it at 50. I think that's fine. For me, 60 I think is a little bit high, but I can afford to do that. So essentially like a 1 in 7. All right. Back in the day, if you watch my older videos from multiple years ago, back before there was a pity, I built like a 30, or start from 30 because we didn't have these numbers. Start at 30 or 40, and I went to like 70 stacks. So that was before pity. So new players have no idea how it's like these days. Okay, so 15 to pry, it's 20 durability. So basically double the memfrags and use flawless stones nowadays instead of the concentrateds. So it's kind of like double the cost of enhancing. So you do the price differently. And once we get it to pry, boss gear, right? Like so Zarka, Dandelion, Kudo Maneuver, outdated gear nowadays. But basically you would do 1 tier up. So like for example, a pry is equivalent to a duo like boss gear, or boss gear as in like yellow tier, right? And then so you would use the stacks that are like 1 step up. So in my opinion, 30 to 40 as a start from pry to duo is fine. And then after that you use like 60 and up. So I have a lot of 60s. So duo to try, 60 is fine to start at. If you wanted to use like a 70, 80, that's fine. It's a little bit high for duo to try, but it's not the worst thing I've seen people do. Failing pry to duo probably is the worst feeling, because that's where all the durability generally tanks, and you're like, oh. But like I could click tries and tets no problem without feeling bad, but pry to duo feels pretty bad actually. Okay, so try to tet is the equivalent of tet to pen on yellow grade. And so nowadays, back in the day, I would start at like a 110 stack. in 2026, I would start at probably like a 150 because those are pretty easy to make, or just generally whatever you have. Do I want to use a 150? What would that stack be? It would be like an 8% on a 150 versus a 7% on a 130. You know what? Let's use the 7% because well, it's only a 1% difference, which back in the day would have been good, but nowadays, let's do this. Nice. Exactly what I expected to happen. So then repeat. I just needed to use my fail stacks. Okay. We're about to pity it, aren't we? That's not a good feeling. If we use that 30 stack, I really wouldn't recommend spending this much in Blackstones for like a 35 and up. I think 30 is realistically fine. So when you're at 5 out of 6 like this, you don't really want to pop your high stack. So I would say do it on a 50. If it goes, that's not the worst, but if it doesn't, it's another 60 for when it fails inevitably. Every time. I've enhanced so many years in my life. It always happens. Okay. What a bait. That lasts so long. Okay. All right, I think I got to make more stones. I should be saving the sharps for this week because the alchemy stone change is happening and we need a lot of them. So I'm probably just gonna have to go gather later and we'll see what happens. Something tells me that, okay, so if sharps go above 5 mil each, you could buy the thing from the old Moonbender, and that would be better. But if they're under 5 mil each, then sharps are worth using. So it's not like I'm really in a dire need of sharps, but it's nice to have them just in case. Cool, more mem frags. Using a 90 stack always feels kind of sketch. Oh my goodness, that didn't feel good. It always starts off with like, hey, let's go enhance today. Let's see if we can make silver, and then that slowly goes downhill. All right. 95 stack, very high. Would I recommend for new players? Nope. Oh, dang. I was kind of hoping it fails, to be honest, but that's fine. Attempt number 3. Let's see. We got a bunch of 80s. We got a 70. For the sake of cleaning out my fail stacks, let's use a 70. %. Do it again. Oh, I got a 6 stack. That's... Yep. All right. We're probably going to pity a Tet. I hope we don't, but there's a chance we do. $60 to $80. Kinda high, actually. Okay, so skip. Skip not lucky either. Okay. Oh boy. That's the worst feeling, knowing that tried to duo and didn't do it a try. Attempt number 7. Would I be mad if I just lost 280 stacks? Like 280 stacks? No, not really. Doesn't even go, regardless. Welcome to mid-game enhancing. When you're going for black stars, if you think this feels bad, wait till you enhance sovereign. It feels even worse. I can assure you that. Oh, we're out of stones. I am going to get a Tet if it's the last thing we do, even if we hard pity it. I've always said that if I ran out of massive pure magic stones, I would never enhance black stars again, but the game just keeps giving them to you. I don't even think I have any nodes with it. Maybe at 1, but it's not like the main thing I'm going for. So, yep. Number keeps on going up, so we enhance black stars. I do think it's a decent method though for high-end fail stacking. If like you're trying to go for like 300, 350 stacks, pen attempts are the way to go anyway. Tets are kind of sketch, but it is what it is. Dear God. Did you see those 5 fails in a row on Pry? That's where all your mem frags are going. Do I really want to use a 90 on a 4 out of 6? The answer is no. So we're going to do a 60 again. Oh boy. Yay! Oh my god, that's a 9%. This game is so bad. You know, I wanted to see if I can make silver and make a tet for like in 1 to 3 clicks. That didn't happen. I hope this is enough to get us to our guaranteed tet next time we hit try. Pray for us under 20 clicks. I really don't want to use that. All right, so we're going to go back to a 60. Thank God we didn't use that 99. We did it, guys. We made tet. Wow, we did it. You know, for a fraction of a second, my brain was like, let's pen attempt on this 447 so we could bring our deck sovereign stack higher. And then I'm like, immediately, no, let's not do that. Yeah, so because we pitied, I think I am realistically just going to sell that and try to make back a fraction of the silver we did. But hopefully, like, at the end of the day, I hope this was more educational and hopefully you guys learned something out of it. And yeah, I hope it was fun to watch it. Did I make silver from that? No, I think I lost it if we were to calculate all the totals. I know I used artisans, but like if you count that as a multiplier, that didn't work. So the reason why I get to do these things is because I do have the rich merchant ring, and it doesn't feel as bad when I sell it at minimum price like I just did. But like for most people, selling at minimum, like 11 bill minus the extra tax, it hurts a lot more, and I can assure you that because I've done it before. So yeah, with that said, guess we have more memfrags for next time. Should probably go gather a little bit more just to stock up for next week. Stick around for alchemy stone enhancing and all that stuff next week. That's the new highlights coming out. And also, with that said, we have a code on screen in case you guys are thinking about buying A coins or pearls or the game package. If you use my code on screen, I get a small portion of what you guys spend. That's always appreciated. And if you're a free-to-play player, I appreciate it anyway, even if you don't. Thanks for watching, no matter what. And that's all I wanted to say. So thanks so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.